call this meeting of the Wetzel County Schools to order. We will start the meeting with the opening, the Pledge of Allegiance led by Casera, Alexis, and Hunter Cooley, and then I will follow with an invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, we ask that you are there to support the family and community of the Nashville area after the shooting that took place today. We also ask you to be there for support for those in Mississippi who lost their homes and loved ones in the tornadoes. We do our best to try to provide our students with a safe, excellent education, and we ask that you also watch over us. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, our first thing is a presentation by Alexis Cooley.
Hello, thank you for everyone for this opportunity to come and speak to you today. My name is Alexis Cooley, and I am a junior at Magnolia High School. On Sunday, February 5th, I was inducted into the Magnolia chapter of the National Honor Society. To be accepted into the National Honor Society, you must show scholarship, leadership, service, and character. In order to continue being a member in future years, I must organize and run a community service project. For my project, I wanted to choose something that is personal and meaningful to me. And personally, I don't think there's anyone better to honor than our veterans by raising money to meet their needs. I have several family members that have served in many branches of the military, including my uncle Jason McGraw, that will be retiring this summer with over 20 years of the United States Army National Guard. With so many charities that help veterans, I wanted to make sure that I chose one that would benefit locally. Helping Heroes is a non-profit organization that provides services to veterans in Hancock, Brooke, Ohio, Marshall, and Wetzel County. They provide so many services, including an emergency shelter, housing assistance, counseling services, food, and clothing. Once I chose who I wanted to benefit, I had to decide how to raise the money. I thought that the best idea would be to partner with a food truck and set up a named route to one day. Mason-Dixon Barbecue Company is located in Moundsville, West Virginia, and owned by Patrick Fisher. Patrick is a combat veteran after serving 6 years in the United States Army. He created his own barbecue sauce and smokes all the meats they serve. Mason-Dixon Barbecue is a huge supporter of several veteran organizations. I thought that they would be the best partner since we have a common intentions of helping veterans. Helping Heroes and Mason-Dixon were both excited to help me and our veterans at the same time. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good smoked brisket? So, I am here today to invite all of you to lunch this Sunday, April 2nd at 11 a.m. I received permission from Ms. Walton to set up in the Martinsville School parking lot. Mason-Dixon Barbecue will be running their food truck, and I will be running a donation table along with information about Helping Heroes. Patrick has offered to take pre-orders on the Mason-Dixon Barbecue Facebook page. The sale will continue while supplies last. I'm also asking if it is possible for you to send a copy of my flyer to all Wetzel County Schools employees. With the school system being the biggest employer in Wetzel County, it is the most effective way to get the word out. In front of you are copies of the flyer along with some of the information that Helping Heroes provided. If anyone has any questions, I would love to answer them. Otherwise, I hope to see you on Sunday. And remember, it is only while supplies last. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a great way to start a meeting. Okay, next on our agenda is a delegation, Mr. Rich Wilson. Mr. Wilson, just to give you that we only allow you 5 minutes, that anything that you say, the board is not liable for you, and we want you to present to us, the board.
Okay, thank you. And I was told that you're pretty
Right behind you, yeah.
The fellow with this many buttons and dials and those many screens, he must be in charge somewhere. Yeah, this will be very short, but it's hard to follow. Alexis, congratulations, good luck. I feel like an unpaid spokesman for Patrick because I'm from Moundsville, and a number of places are catered by Mason-Dixon Barbecue, and if you haven't had it yet, go get yourself some good barbecue. So, my name is Rich Wilson. I was recently appointed to take the vacated judge's spot here in the 2nd Judicial Circuit, which is Marshall, Wetzel, and Tyler County. And I found, even especially today, it seems like it's an extreme when we talk with education and so forth. On the one end, just today I had hearings dealing with broken kids and broken families. And on that same sad end was the tragedy in Nashville's Green Hills section. And yet, to meet you all and in this environment is a good thing. So it seemed like it was a day of extremes for me. Dealt with termination of parental rights today. In the morning, in the afternoon, had a joyous adoption of 3 very young children by an adoptive family. So today's been just a day of extremes. And I found out about the incident down in Nashville. My wife is a 1st grade teacher at Washington Lands, and my mother-in-law was a longtime teacher. She's 80 years old and she still subs because she loves it and she's dedicated. So it was my mother-in-law who texted my wife that said what had happened, and then my wife told me. It's just, it's so hard to believe that that's the environment that we live in now, because when I was in school, my biggest worry was getting enough guys to hang around after class to get a full team to play basketball out on the playground and stuff. So what you all are dealing with, you have my heartfelt gratitude, and anything that I can do on my end, please let me know. I regularly see school officials participating in care plans and update plans and providing information for the court to consider, along with the counselors and the probation officers. They provide vital, critical information to manage the children that are involved in the cases. So I implore upon you all to reinforce your educators and your counselors and your principals that to share their voice and participate, because as far as I'm concerned, it won't fall on deaf ears with me. A long family history of educators, so believe me, you have my respect and my trust, and in great respect when we start talking about care plans and what we're going to do with these too oftentimes broken kids. Your voices matter. So I appreciate the opportunity to be introduced to you all. I like the fact that you can put a face with a name now, and anything that I can do, any questions, anything that I can help with, I'm happy to do that. So thank you very much for inviting me and having me. I'm watching the clock down. I'm very nervous about that. I got here about 45 minutes early because I didn't want to be tardy. And I can tell you, when I was in school, if I got in trouble, which wasn't very often, with my family of educators. My mom was an educator. My uncle was Principal Burke up in Marshall County. Whatever happened to me in school, whatever trouble I had at school, it was worse when I got home. And I wish that some of that would come back. That's important to me. So thank you once again. I look forward to meeting you all again. Good circumstances again. Today was a day of extremes. And I appreciate, at least for me, ending my day's work on a good note by getting to meet you all and introduce myself to you. So
Thank you.
4 seconds.
There it is. We thank you for attending and what you're doing. We appreciate that. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is Superintendents Information.
Yes, and I'm gonna look up some of this on Mr. Rush's Facebook page, because I've got some really good news to share with you about the Long Drain Middle School and 100 High School TSA chapters. Long Drain Middle School is the state champion chapter in the state, and that is overall, high schools, middle schools. Long Drain Middle School is the state champion, only to be coming in second. 100 High School is the runner-up to Long Drain Middle. So we're very, very impressed with that end of the county and what they did at the TSA state convention. Congratulations to Jeremy Kelch, who's the Middle School Advisor of the Year, and Sean Stetton, who is the High School Advisor of the Year. Also, a big congratulations to Mason Norris, who is a student at 100 High School, for being elected 2023-24 West Virginia State TSA Treasurer. At 100 High School, they are the West Virginia State runner-up. They had 12 first place, 11 second place, and 8 third place finishes. At Long Drain, the West Virginia State champions, 9 first place finishes, 4 second, and 3 third place finishes. So congratulations to both of those schools for their good work, and now they're going to take over Louisville in June, so for nationals, internationals. So we're really excited for them. Then we have the Region 6 Math Field Day Contest, which was held on Saturday, March 25th at Wheeling Park High School. Approximately 150 students in grades 4 through 12 competed in mental math and number sense activities. The top 3 students in grades 4 through 9 and the top 10 students in grades 10 through 12 advanced to the State Math Field Day competition slated for Saturday, April 22nd at Shepherd University. In grade 4, we had from Wetzel County, first place, Tobin McGuire. We had in grade 7, the first place winner, Austin Hayes. Second place, Trevor Martin. And a first alternate for the county, Wetzel County, Gavin Rakes. We had a 10th place winner who gets to go into states as well, Shiv Patel. So we're really proud of those students and of their teachers, and of our own Pam Christie, who is the coordinator for Regional Math Field Day, and does all this work for our entire region, and getting this competition together and getting kids to the state competition. I'm very happy about that. The last item I wish to share with you today is Michelle Weekly has been serving on the Mountaineer Mathematics Master Teachers cohort. And she had to apply for this. It was a very competitive organization to belong to. It's a lot of training that's required with it. She's a teacher of ours, a middle school teacher at New Martinsville School. She has had great success in this cohort. So great, in fact, that she has now been elected to represent Wetzel County as a member of the Wetzel County, West Virginia Teachers of Mathematics Board of Directors. So she is on the Board of Directors for the West Virginia Council for the Teachers of Mathematics, and that's a huge honor, and it's nice to have Wetzel County represented on that council. So with that being said, I've got all that good news, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
It's so nice to have good news.
Isn't it that?
And I talked with her today,
Yes.
and I also talked with the 4th grader that got first place today.
Oh,
And,
exciting.
yeah, it was wonderful. And she's a future national board candidate, so
Yes.
she hasn't started yet, but she's looking at it. So
She'll
that's
get it.
good. Yeah. Okay. All right, now under superintendent's recommendations, the first thing is approval of minutes, statutory and regular meeting from March 13th, 2023, and the special meeting on March 16th, 2023. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes of the statutory and special meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it has been moved by Mr. Caslow and seconded by Mrs. Nice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, under personnel matters, we have resignations, we have professional personnel, service personnel, leave of absence, rescindment of job posting, reconfiguration for the 23-24 year. Let's see, approval of the reduction in force and assigned to the preferred recall list for the 23-24 school year as recommended by the superintendent, and approval of the transfer and subsequent assignment list for the 2023-2024 school year as recommended by the superintendent. Do I have a motion for approval of the superintendent's recommendations as listed under personnel matters?
So moved.
It has been moved by Mr. Glasscock. Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Mr. Glasscock and seconded by Mrs. Nice. All those in favor of the superintendent's recommendations as under personnel matters, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Okay. The next thing is the ratification of the superintendent's recommendation, consideration and possible action, on the superintendent's recommendation about a service employee's paid suspension.
They require executive session.
Yeah.
It will require.
I move that we go to executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Mrs. Fawner, seconded by Mr. Castelo for us to go into executive session. All those in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. At
We do it.
6:46.
6:46,
We'll see.
we're going into executive session. This meeting is, we're back out of executive session at 6:50. We left executive session with Dr. Christian moving to exit executive session, Mr. Glasscock seconding it. It was unanimous vote to leave executive session, and we left executive session at 6:49. Okay. Do you have a recommendation for us?
I do, Madam President. I ask that you ratify the employee Abigail Rose's paid suspension.
Do we have a motion to that?
So moved.
It's been moved by Dr. Christian. Is there a second?
Second.
It's seconded by Mrs. Nice to approve the recommendation of Mrs. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, now, other things under routine matters. We have requests to attend Wetzel County Schools. I'm gonna make a comment right there. I have had many people say, how many people are you requesting to leave and to come? And I just wanna, we don't give out names for privacy, but very often it's like 2 names of somebody that's already been attending here, but every year you have to re-ask it. It's not been this flood of names of people coming in and leaving. That's what it's about. Okay, request to attend Wetzel County Schools, chaperones and volunteers, a short line, out-of-state trips. Do we have a motion for approval of the superintendent's recommendations as outlined under routine matters?
So moved.
It's moved by Mr. Castillo. I will second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, treasurer's report.
Could be
Uh,
difficult.
There's no transfers and increases, so that's all.
He didn't give us any papers, right? So,
Can we make a motion?
he better make sure that,
I'm allowed to change the order of things.
Yes.
So we're gonna move on to number 7, and when he comes back in, we'll come back to number 6. Okay, number 7 is, there's a video that we wanna have some board discussion on to let you know what it is. It's called Game Changer, One Pill Can Kill Campaign. And it's been put out by, Dr. Justice, Brad Paisley, Mr. Manchin,
a host of people.
a host of people. We actually have a student from Wetzel County that's a part of it, that's at 100. And it's very eye-opening. It's talking about the opioid problems, especially the fentanyl that they talked about. It's groups of students, it's adults, and it's about all in West Virginia. It is a site that people can go to as parents or grandparents. They have supplemental materials after you watch the video. It's about a half-hour video. It's excellent. And they give you sites and questions you might want to be asking your children and things to get it, just to open up everybody's knowledge of it. I watched it today, and it's excellent. It's excellent.
Mr. McPherson, I think it's available on the Wetzel County Schools website,
I
correct?
do believe it is, and if it's not, it will be shortly. We've had a couple things of this nature that we've posted up on our website for folks that are good resources. We had a parent's guide to fentanyl that had come out. It's been a couple months that we put on there as well, so.
And there's students that talk about how their lives have been affected, and it's really heartfelt because they're talking about, some of them about their friends or their parents, but every single person knew somebody that had been affected by this crisis that was talking. I'd highly recommend it.
And when we've been asked by the West Virginia School Boards Association to present this tonight and present it on the website, et cetera, and they highly endorse it and everything
Yes.
like that.
that's how I
And the
endorse
young man from 100 that's on the group does an excellent job, so we'll probably have him here recognizing him for his participation.
it. It's needed. I know it's a half an hour, but I think we can all find a half an hour somewhere to watch it. I would highly recommend that. Okay? All right, we don't have to take any action on that. Okay, now we'll go to step 6, which is the treasurer's report.
I'll make it easy on you. I have nothing for you this evening.
That was easy. Okay. The next thing on the page is, the next thing is the board discussion and possible action on the Wetzel County Bus Garage. We're not gonna make this long and drawn out. We've been doing this for about 4 meetings now, I believe. Many of us have been out to the bus garage. My second trip out there showed more things than I saw on my first trip. And, it's bad. So does anybody else wanna make any other comments before we vote?
Well, I too have been out the bus garage and, it is in bad shape, it does need fixed. I still stand with I don't support a $5 million bus garage, but I think we do definitely need to put this thing out for bid and see what it comes in at, and then go from there.
All right, does anybody wanna make a motion?
I move.
Go ahead, no, go right ahead.
I move that, the appropriate steps be taken for the Wetzel County Bus Garage to be put out for bid ASAP.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Mr. Castello and seconded by Mr. Glasscock. Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, but I need to say something.
Okay,
I think maybe we can do this, but with the delay, one thing I talked about with our architect, cause he's been Patrick Ryman from McKinley, one of the questions is, when do we bid? Because we had it in plan to bid, you know, to get that ball rolling, but the later you get, the more you get where you know more than I do, Jamie, that these contractors get full with their summer work, and you might not get a good bid. We could always do the bids and not accept them. That's probably the best move if we vote, and if the board votes to go forward with a majority. But it might, at this point, not be, according to our architect, the best time to bid to start summer work, because you're not gonna get as many bidders because a lot of the contractors are full up. That's what I was told, and I'm just relaying that from our architect, so.
and since we're still under discussion, I understand it completely, I think we should still bid, but
Okay.
yes. All right, so it's been moved by Mr. Castello, seconded by Mr. Glasscock to go ahead and start the process on the Wetzel County Bus Garage to find out the bids. So, all those, go ahead.
And we'll know when it comes in, their timeline and everything like that, right?
Yeah, once they go through the whole bid process, they'll have, once you accept the bid, they'll tell you, what the timeline, when they can get to it, but it'll start with a pre-bid meeting, and then we let them know, when we're expected to try to have it done, and then most of the time in the pre-bid meeting, when you give them when you're wanting it done, they'll let you know most likely of when they'll be able to get it.
There's a lot of front end
Yeah.
stuff to all of it,
But
so
we
it's
can
not
get
gonna be.
started if this passes.
Yeah.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Okay, the motion is 4-1, so motion passes with Mr. Glasscock, Mr. Castello, Mrs. Bonner, and Mrs. Nice in favor, Dr. Christian against. Okay, motion carries. Okay. Just give me 1 second here.
Committee reports are next.
Okay, board member committee reports. I can start with policy committee. We're reviewing the policies this week in the next to last section. And we will be meeting on Friday. It's still sections under personnel, and then we'll only have one more section done, and then that committee will be dissolved. Any other committee reports?
Mofty is, I'm not sure if there's been visits or not, because Magnolia's power failure put the scheduled visit by the sophomores out of whack.
I think Magnolia went today.
Magnolia went today,
I
okay.
believe so.
And since we're talking about visits, and then Magnolia's and rest of the county students are to go to the tech center sometime too, right?
I'll fill you in.
Huh?
I'll fill you in.
Oh, you're gonna, okay.
It's all good.
I stepped on that part. That's it.
Okay, no other committee reports? Okay, other items?
Okay, today we'll begin with Mr. Kimball.
I really don't have a whole lot on my plate right now, just kinda getting ready for the summer school. I've got, the postings ready for Mrs. Velez to get going for extended school year and stuff like that, so we can get that out and see where, we fall with teachers and aides and bus drivers, so on and so forth, so that's kinda where we're at, the special ed area.
just in the special ed, are we gonna be what you're
Extended school
figuring out?
Yeah, ESY, yeah.
Summer school, somebody's else is gonna do that, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mr. Kimball. Mrs. McPherson?
So, thank you. I will piggyback off of Mr. Kimball, also getting the postings ready for summer food, looking at the calendar, seeing where all of these events line up and where summer food will line up as well. So hopefully all of those will go out at the same time. Yeah, that's the game plan at least. Let's see, as you've heard, there's been a little bit of, some interesting things happening out Shortline and Valley, today, I was like yesterday and today and tomorrow. Right now, because of the latest developments, there will not be food prep for Tuesday. Going to assess the situation as it develops. If it does become a longer term outage for whatever reason, I will look into an alternative for feeding when it comes to all of that. Going to Benson Tech, yes, we have finally getting our 10th grade tours going. We just had Magnolia's tour postponed because of power issues. They will be coming tomorrow, and now we have to postpone Valley's tour because of other issues. So I still have to get with my people and Valley's and get some exact dates on that. So it is coming and they are happening. And we also have 8th grade tours lined up as well. Those will be later in April. We want to get the 10th graders done so they can schedule and have everything settled with that. We're also having a family and community night out at the Tech Center. That is on Friday, April 14th, from 6 to 8. You will be getting formal invitations shortly, but just kind of mark that date on your calendar. Had some good news from the Tech Center world and another first happening out there. We had a student who was interested in submitting a piece to Arts Alive, and it has been accepted. So this is under visual arts, and it is Carson Yoho. His piece is called Marakame. It's called First Shaman. I'm hoping to get some of our welding students here to present, and hopefully the timing works out so the pieces can actually be here. In addition to that, we're going to be doing an evening at the museum with the Tech Center students, so they can show off other ornamental welding pieces. And right now, that's it for now.
I have 2 things.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I saw it. It's amazing. It is he just did a beautiful job. I mean, it's welding, but it is art. It's amazing. Second thing, I got an email, you may have gotten it, about a grant to get extra money for the food program for people in rural, small areas of the state. If you didn't get that, I can forward it to you.
Please forward it to me so I can compare it to other information.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. McPherson. Mr. Houston?
Really don't have a whole lot. After last board meeting, I went on vacation to the basketball tournaments, and then upon arrival from coming back, I was extremely sick and missed most of last week. But want to just follow up with the Grow Your Own initiative. I actually have a meeting scheduled for the 4th to discuss that and try to get that started. I've been playing tag with them and finally got that narrowed down. So that's all I really have.
Thank you, Mr. Houston. Mrs. Stanford?
Well, you covered Math Field Day, so.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So I think I'm good, but I'm really proud of the kids, and I'm very thankful for the teachers that went to help too.
There were other teachers that helped Mrs. Christie, correct?
Yes.
Do you know their
I
names
don't know the
offhand?
names offhand.
We'll have to get those from her
Yes.
and make sure their names are mentioned as well.
Yes.
Because we did have a lot of Wetzel County
Yes, we
teachers who
did.
helped out, so, yes.
So,
Thank you,
You're
Mrs.
welcome.
Stanford. Mrs. Lloyd?
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Doty?
The only thing I've got is staying in communication with Mon Power to find out when they're gonna get our 3rd leg of power back up. And then after the conversation with Pine Grove today, I'm hoping that those two are kinda in correlation, that when one gets fixed, the other one will get fixed. But as of now, on my app, it says no, they have no anticipation of restoration yet, so. It was supposed to be 3 p.m. on Tuesday, and now it just says no estimated time, so.
Jamie, did you not get the theme of tonight's board meeting was good news?
So I'll be back on the phone with them again first thing tomorrow and multiple times through the day to see what's going on, to see when they think they're gonna get it back on. But other than that, that's
Thank you,
This is
Mr.
good
Davis.
news to some students, probably.
Yeah. Everybody at Shoreline Valley said I have to go.
Yeah.
Mr. McPherson.
Just two things, if you follow our social media at all, you'll soon see a survey about school calendars. The calendar committee's been working hard. I think we're down to 3, we're gonna get down to 2, put those out to the public to see, get some opinions. And then the next board meeting, and the first two board meetings in April, we'll do our public hearings and present those 2 calendars, and then I'll tell you which one got the most votes, and then we'll vote on one, and we'll know what day we're gonna start school next year. And then it's just an interesting fact that I left this off on the meeting we had on the 13th was the 3-year anniversary of when the governor decided that we weren't gonna go to school anymore for 2 weeks. And then I was interested to think that this week, 3 years ago, was the first time we did a board meeting remotely. So we've been putting board meetings up for the public to see on YouTube for 3 years now.
Wow. Thank you. Mr. Lancaster.
The only thing I'll say, since it is good news, everybody likes a little more money in their paychecks. We ran a payroll today, which included the West Virginia legislature passed and the governor signed a bill to lower state income tax. So that went into effect for this coming payroll that's coming up, in a couple days. Thursday, is that the 30th? So we were able to enter there's new withholding tables that came out. We got them jumped in line, and so everybody will see a little bit more money, not a lot more money, but a little bit more money on their paychecks, which is always good news for everybody. So
Thank you.
Sorry.
That is good news.
That is good news, yeah, thank you.
Yes. That's all we have.
Okay, I have one last thing under other. On Saturday, the board met for 9.5 hours, interviewing candidates for the superintendent. It was a long day, but we feel that a good choice was made to keep our county moving forward and continuing all of ours, including this as well as dream and to move forward for our students. We hired Cassandra Porter. She's currently the principal at John Marshall High School, and she will start on July 1, 2023.
And would have been here, but she's getting.
Oh, yes, she would have been here, but she is in Washington DC advocating for education right now. All right, date and time of the next meeting will be April 10th, 2023, with a regular meeting at 6:30 p.m. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Castillo to adjourn, second. Seconded by Mrs. Nice. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Wow.